Today was day 3 of Buffalo Bills training camp. Much cooler day. Even sprinkled a little bit. Maybe got a little bit of rain, but not bad. It was nice out there to have training camp. I was able to get right in there to listen to some of what even the coaches were saying to the defensive line players. During the drills, you gotta give one to get one. He kept saying, give one to get one. Make sure you're out there to help your teammate, and then you get to get the opportunity to shine. So just fantastic stuff. We've adjusted this just a little bit. Yeah, it was a great day. HBO Hard Knocks did some things with Ray Davis after practice with a little girl. Interested to see what that turns into. Seemed pretty produced. And they're following Joey Bosa because they were right on top of him when he was doing his defensive line work and making sure they focused in on Bosa. And at one point he had to have a finger taped a little bit. They got right in there to show the tape job. So look for that in HBO Hard Knocks. They're following Ray Davis and Joey Bosa. So today's practice did get a little intense. There was a fight, first fight, real fight. I mean, yesterday Epinesa punched the guy in the head, but I don't think it was really a fight. Today I felt like it was more of a fight. And Alec Anderson was involved. Imagine that. Number 52, and him got in a little bit of a struggle afterwards, but and Alex made it known that isn't happening. If there were two players you would think might show that they're not going to back down, it's Spencer Brown and Alec Anderson. Now Spencer is still out with his back injury, and it, has been reoccurring over the last few years. But Alex held his own today. On the offensive side of the ball, Stars over there today, I thought that Elijah Moore had a great practice, and so did Curtis Samuel. Keon Coleman had some really nice plays there. A really long touchdown play where he's just twirling Taylor Rapp back and forth and while he gets into the end zone. And Dalton Kincaid had a nice long catch down the sidelines. But the offensive MVP of the day, Joshua Palmer. Let me first say that Josh Allen was throwing dimes today. The other day, I told you at the first day of practice that Josh looked a little bit off and that his timing with Joshua Palmer in particularly looked a little bit off. And those guys put in extra work. You could see that they did because the timing was on today. Joshua Palmer had some pretty beautiful catches, and Josh Allen was throwing dimes. So get that combination together would be a huge addition to our team. And then in addition, Elijah Moore looked good and Keon looked good. Drops, though, the very last play of practice, Coleman did get wide open for a deep pass. Josh threw him a dime, and he dropped it. So I hated ending practice like that. But so that was a bummer because he had a great practice up until that point. And Shakir dropped a pass? Really? Khalil Shakir? Don't think we have to worry about that at all. He was amazing last year, setting records on how many completed catches he had in a row. So not worried about Shakir there. But Joshua Palmer, man, if he plays during the season as well as he did today, then we're going to have a great year. On the defensive side of the ball, our defensive players like Walker and Sanders and Jackson, those guys, they all showed today. I thought that the best defensive lineman, though, especially in the drills, you could see that Gregory Rousseau is above where a lot of guys are. I mean, that guy is just ready to go. His blast when he comes up is just bar none right now. Javon Solomon had a good practice too, as far as those drills go. And of course, Joey Bosa did. But I'm really impressed with how Gregory Rousseau did in those drills today. But the defensive player of the day, and he's the one player now that I got David's autograph the other day, David Edwards. I still need to get Taylor Rapp is now the only starter on offense or defense from last year that I do not have his autograph. Taylor Rapp. This guy never signs, and somehow I'm hoping just by putting this out there that I'll get some karma that I can finally get a Taylor Rapp autograph. I will say that after practice is over, he gets down to his skimpy shorts and is out there on the field showing, playgirl like looks. But anyway, won't go into that anymore. But the good thing about him, Taylor Rapp, he didn't have just one interception, and the first one was beautiful. A diving interception on the sideline. The team was pumped over there, cheering for him. The crowd went crazy, and he threw the ball way up in the air. It was a beautiful pick. And then he had another one that I think might have been tipped by a receiver and went up, and then he had a third one. So he had 3 interceptions in one practice. Awesome, Taylor Rapp. I could do without having your autograph if that's the kind of production you're going to give us. But, joke, of course. Other players that really look good, of course, Christian Benford. Christian Benford's locking down now. And Trey White. Trey White had a fantastic practice. I think Harrison had a good practice too. But I believe Trey's been telling people now that he's had this off season that he didn't have to do rehab because he had his knee rehab one year he had to do. Then he had the torn Achilles the next year. He's had off seasons of having to just do rehab. Now he did an off season of actually working on skills that he needed to get ready for the season. Trey looked good, y'all. Trey's looking good out there. And boy, I was talking to somebody the other day at camp, and we were talking about the fact that there's not really a place that you can say, this is where we definitely need to get better. This is where we definitely need to get better. But second corner with Benford on the other side was one area that I just had a concern about because we were going to look like we were starting a rookie over there, and you never know what, Harrison's going to do. Maxwell Harrison as a rookie, you hate to have that position be over there. So if Trey Day can be the starter and Harrison can learn under him and then come in, wow, I can't, it makes me excited. So, yeah, those are the big things that happened today. Epinesa sat out today. He did have his ankle wrapped, and he did make an effort to go over and sign a lot of autographs after practice. Connor McGovern was signing autographs too. Joey Bosa as well. These guys already have their autographs. Ray was signing some autographs while he was doing the HBO Hard Knocks deal. And then before practice started, I told my wife, my goal for today is to get just 2 autographs. And I want Deone Walker and TJ Sanders, 2 of our draft picks from this year. Now, TJ, at the first practice, I think I told you guys, he told me he would come back after practice to give me an autograph. He didn't do that. But today, he came back exactly where he told me he would come back. And TJ Sanders did sign this for me. As you see there in the nice red. TJ Sanders, her 2nd round draft pick this year, and going to make a definite great addition to our defensive line. And then I did get Deone Walker's autograph too. Just a simple DW and his number. But was excited to meet him. I got a picture with Walker too. The guy's huge. What is he, like 6'8", 6'9"? Something like, I don't know. It's just, okay. I'm a pretty big guy, but he's towering over me. So, yeah, so it was a great practice for autographs too. Those are the two I wanted. They're the two I got. And maybe I need to put out there in the atmosphere Darrington Evans and Taylor Rapp are future ones I'd like to get. And Joshua Palmer and Elijah Moore. Those are guys, I don't have their autographs yet. They're mostly new to the team. So as you see behind me, I've gotten all of these guys' autographs at either for past training camps or at games. And it was a pleasure. Each and every one of them has their own little story behind them. So that makes it exciting for me. And this will be my last year of attending training camp, so as we are moving. But just glad to be able to go every day this year, except for the one day that I can't make it. So with that, what other things happened today? It was just another nice practice. Great to see Josh Allen throwing beautiful passes. I think he had one bad pass today over the head of Zach Davidson. And other than that, beautiful day. Beautiful day of practice. And I remind you all that God loves you, and so do I. Be good. Do good. God bless. And go Bills!